Hey guys, I want to share every remote job secret with you today in this video. And it's the secrets I've learned from living, working, and traveling in more than 100 different countries. These are the same secrets that I wrote about in my best-selling book, my TED Talk, and it's why I got voted as a remote innovator by remote.com. Also behind the scenes, I run one of the biggest remote job websites to land high-paying, non-technical remote jobs. And so in this video, I just want to break down everything I've learned from living, working, and traveling in 100 different countries all around the world, and the secrets that I've also shared with other people that have gone from being a farmer to working remotely. And in this video, you're going to get some really good tips because I'm going to share the 5 secrets that will help you out along the way. So let me set this down and we'll go ahead and get started. And before we get started, just a friendly reminder to hit the subscribe button about new videos I'm putting out every single week on how to earn from anywhere. Starting off at secret number 1 is the reason that most people fail at landing a high-paying and a good remote job is they don't want to spend time on the boring stuff. And unfortunately, creating that foundation before you go out spamming job applications, you need to create a better foundation. And most people just don't understand what better looks like. You have this perspective, but you need a third-party perspective to actually build it. So let me explain what that looks like. Now think about this. If you're building a house and you build on bad land or unstable soil, or you just don't have good concrete, it doesn't matter what you put on the first floor, the second floor, it's going to crumble. And that's exactly how it works in the job search. And so here's what a solid foundation looks like. Your resume needs to speak the language of remote work. Your resume needs to focus on outcomes that you delivered for your prior experience and outcomes that you can deliver for a future company. Focus on the results that you've gotten in prior experience and relay that better on your resume. This is the number one mistake I see on resumes. They read like a job description. They don't focus on what you actually accomplished. And so resumes need a second eye and probably a third eye and likely somebody who has experience in your industry. Think about it. People who look at resumes every day understand what's good, what's bad, and what doesn't work. A lot of job seekers make the mistake of making it a nice template, making it all beautiful, but in general, the content is the thing that actually needs work. It's the foundation. Doesn't need a fresh coat of paint. It needs to be revamped, and the words on the resume are the things that actually matter, not the fonts, not how beautiful the template looks. It's the words. These words and phrases are going to be the difference between you landing a remote job that pays you well and getting rejected time and time again. Again, most people spend a few hours on this, but you need to spend weeks on this, talking to experts, revising it, and actually making improvements. And I suggest people spending 2 to 3 weeks doing this before you fill out an application. And the reason behind this is you're going to waste time. You're going to have a much higher chance of success if you go ahead and work on this foundation. Everything after this is going to be easier if you focus on this. So focus on revamping your resume, revamping your LinkedIn, and making sure everything's up to date, and making sure that it focuses on outcomes you've achieved and outcomes you can achieve for future companies. Now, moving on to secret number 2 is another area that I don't see people doing correctly or doing it enough, and it's networking. And this isn't showing up to a conference or going to some corporate event or even having to host stuff. All that stuff is great, and I suggest doing that once a quarter or once every year, but networking just comes from having virtual coffee with some intentionality behind it. This could be with friends and family starting off. Say, hey, Uncle Joe, I'm looking for a remote job. Who's the first 2 people that come to mind that work remotely? Maybe it's an aunt, a cousin, a friend. Find somebody else who is a connector in the space, somebody who has a wide network, and you can tap into their network. And so what you're doing is you're reaching out to your friends, your family, your warm network, people who know you, and just saying, hey, can we have a quick 10-minute call? I'm trying to find a remote job and I just want to get your perspective on it. And so be intentional. Say, hey, I'm looking for a remote job in this sector or segment. Do you know anybody who fits that mold, or do you know somebody who might be able to connect me to somebody? And so a lot of networking is just utilizing the resources instead of going out and cold messaging a bunch of people. I guarantee you, between your network, somebody knows a person who has a good high-paying remote job. And if you don't, you can DM me and I'll connect you to somebody. So networking needs to happen on a weekly basis, and it's usually better to do it before you actually need something. And so when you actually get on the phone with somebody, ask them, how did you land your remote job? Specifically, what application did they fill out? What sort of things did they look out for when they were applying? What did their process look like? And how can you replicate it? Ask them what skills they think are most important, what surprised you the most about working remotely, and do you know anybody else I should talk to? And then finally, finally, is anybody in your network looking to hire somebody to work remotely? And so here's the secret that nobody else wants to hear. The best remote jobs, a lot of them aren't publicly, they're not listed on LinkedIn. They're coming from connections like this, where maybe they're hiring internally, maybe they're not a huge company yet, so they don't get a huge amount of reach. When they actually send out their application, they're only getting like 20 applicants. And this is the real experience for a lot of small businesses or bootstrap companies. They don't have this huge budget to hire for somebody. And the reason that this is great is you don't have a lot of competition, but in general, most of these companies still have enough salary because they're so focused on being profitable to actually pay you a good income. If you guys like that part, you're gonna love this. I'm giving away my best-selling book for absolutely free, and here's how you can get the audiobook in just a few seconds. Inside this book is the same techniques I've used to work abroad in paradise in more than 100 different countries. And the best part, this strategy hasn't just worked for me, it's helped hundreds of thousands of people earn more, work less, and travel the world. I'll leave a QR code here where you can get the audiobook for free with a free 30-day Audible subscription. Secret number 3 is stop applying for jobs only on LinkedIn or only on one platform. You need to diversify. Think about this. I've helped so many people get new remote jobs or just make more money online. And the number one mistake I see is they just focus on one platform. They go to LinkedIn, they've got the one-click apply, so it's easy. You think you're doing the actual effort. Problem is, a lot of these jobs are getting thousands and thousands of other people applying for it. It's really hard to stand out, and only like 1% of people actually get through to an interview. So you need to go to the place where less people are looking for, where you're competing with 20, 30, or 50 other applicants instead of thousands. And so I suggest only spending about 5 to 10% on LinkedIn for job applications. It's great for networking. It's great for reaching out to people after you've applied for a job. You can kind of raise your hand and make sure that your LinkedIn profile is actually all put together. There's a few other places, but again, you can go to globalcareer.io. That's my personal job website. And the great thing about it is we focus on non-technical jobs by smaller companies that don't get thousands and thousands of applicants. Number 4 is you need to invest in yourself, but you need to do it smartly. A lot of people just think going back to school for a year or two to get an extra degree is going to double their income or get that 30% raise. And a lot of times when you calculate the time invested, the money invested, and then the actual money that you get from that boost, it's really not worthwhile. And it's only worthwhile in a few very rare cases where your current employer is going to pay for that, and there's a clear path to get that money back in a future promotion. That's going to be typically somebody who has a undergraduate and they're going to pay for your MBA. After you have your MBA, you're eligible for a promotion or a new career track. Those situations can work great, but in general, going off on your own, funding yourself, 90% of the time, it's just not the best use of funds. There's a few better ways to do this, and I personally love just getting your own certificates. There's so many degrees out there that you can do online now, and don't break the bank. This could be online certificates through places like HubSpot. Google has a ton of cool free courses. Harvard and Stanford, they also have some pretty cool online jobs. And I'll actually leave a video link here below where you can watch some of the best certifications to get for free. And then option number 3 is I love coaching and mentorship. Find somebody who is 2 or 3 steps ahead of where you want to be in the direction that you want to go and pay them for mentorship and coaching. A lot of times this can be a very fast way to elevate yourself because they've already done all the hard work. They've already gone and broken their ankles in all these different ways, and they can teach you what to do and what not to do so you can get results about 2 times faster than they did. And secret number 5 is quantity and quality matter in the job search and finding remote companies. A lot of people want the Google or the Apple remote job, but a lot of these big corporations aren't that flexible anymore. So you want to find the 20, 30 person company, maybe they're VC backed or maybe they're bootstrapped, but they've become successful. They've been around for a few years and there's a ton of upside because you can have impact and you can also really get paid well and have a lot more flexibility. A lot of these smaller companies are more flexible because they focus on your outcome, not your actual input. And so the reason that the quantity and quality approach is so important here is you need to do both, and you need to do it every single day, and you need to do it on some consistent basis. Again, the reason that it makes so much sense to do quantity and quality is, again, you need to stand out from the crowd. Whether it's 50 people, you need to try to be in that top percentile, and you need to do it on a consistent basis because it is something that is going to take time. time. If you do it every day, you're going to build it into a routine. You're going to get the newest jobs. And the best thing about this is if you're doing it on a daily basis, you're going to apply early. Being an early applicant gives you a little bit of an edge because it's going to set the bar for the next hires. And so if you're at the very end, a lot of times people are going to be, all right, we already have our pick. We're just doing this to interview a few other people. So figuring out the timing and making sure that people haven't made up their mind yet is also really important. So if you apply late, there's a lot of times they won't even look at your application. They won't set up an interview because they just don't want to go through the process anymore. And so that's why doing it consistently and doing it on a daily basis is very important. And what this means is looking at 3 to 5 highly targeted jobs, making sure your resume is updated for each one, utilizing applicant tracking software to match it from the job description to your resume, and then making sure that you, after you apply, reaching out to those people on LinkedIn and sending a message to some people in the division that you applied to. And so in general, you got to be direct, you got to be consistent, and it's really tough. It's a lot easier to land a job when you already have a job, but if you are in that space where you need work, you really have to turn your day job into finding a job. So if you don't have a job, you need to spend 40, 50 hours per week actually looking for a job. And so every time I've gone out, try to find remote jobs, try to find, jobs in other countries. That's the mindset I had. I said, it's my job to find a job. And I was spending 50, 60 hours a week revamping my resume, networking with people. And typically once I did that, I found awesome remote jobs at tech companies in a matter of 2 weeks. And it's very fast. Even in foreign countries doing this, it really helped me stand out because I was able to take that quantity and quality approach and basically just hit a lot of people from every angle. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I'm going to leave some other resources in another video up for you here. And again, don't forget to subscribe about new videos I'm putting out every single week, and I'll see you in the next one.